So, welcome everybody. This is Dr. Khushboo Shah, and I'm an Access Consciousness facilitator. I'm a Talk to the Entities facilitator. It's been a while since I've been facilitating Access, and it's been a few years since I've been facilitating TTTE. So, Talk to the Entities, I will also call it TTTE sometimes. So TTTE, which is Talk to the Entities, is nothing but a specialty under Access Consciousness that mainly deals with spirits and ghosts and everything that you can perceive but not necessarily see. Some of us can see as well, but it basically deals with entities, ghosts, spirits, beings of light, people who moved on, died but didn't move on, everything. So entities are basically any energy that is defined becomes an entity. So in that case, even we behave like entities. But of course, when we are talking about Talk to the Entities, I am pretty much talking about, and a major chunk of what you'll be aware of right in the beginning are people who died but who did not move on for whatever reason. Okay. And then, of course, it has this, and as you open up to this world, it includes a lot of other things. It includes the mega beings, the beings of light. It includes spirits of the earth. It includes your teammates. It includes other things that we don't necessarily have words for, but then they exist. Okay. So please ask me your questions. The best way this introduction to Talk to the Entities is going to work is if you ask me questions. The more questions you ask me, the more relevant this intro will be, the more I'll be able to direct the conversations towards something that actually works for y'all. All right. So first of all, if y'all are here, y'all are weird. Okay. Very few people come for Talk to the Entities intro, let alone class. So welcome all of the weird ones. All right. Y'all are not weird here. So what happens is, what we've grown up in a world where either there is complete disbelief, you're told like it doesn't exist, this world doesn't exist. So even if you're aware of things, you start going into this wrongness that, oh, I'm hearing voices, or I see things in the night, I can't sleep alone, etc., etc. So what happens is there's a lot of disbelief and non-education. So that's one thing. And the other end is that it turns into, Sanket, can you just mute yourself? And when you have questions, please unmute yourself and ask me. I don't know why I'm not able to. But cool. So one end of the spectrum is disbelief, which is, they don't exist. And the other spectrum, which is most of the people who come in for Talk to the Entities, is the fear of this. Because since you can't really see it, since you haven't been really taught much about it, what we've done is we've been exposed to movies and stories and myths passed down. And so what it has created is this world of fear and just absolute, like, no empowerment in this area. Okay. So what Talk to the Entities aims at is giving you tools to not to use this to your advantage. So if you guys are aware, if you guys are one of those weird ones, which 90% of y'all are, since y'all are here, which means if you've been hearing voices, if you've been told that you have some weird mental disorder, if you've been told, and even if you walk into a room and there's something and then you're not sure like what it is. So even if it's not this extreme extent of having the sense of entities, we all are here because we perceive them in our own way in some places. And what has happened is we've shut it down a lot. We've gone into a lot of fear. And imagine, entities actually exist everywhere. Okay. So it's like they're everywhere. And to shut down so much awareness, you have to use a lot of energy against you. So imagine if your awareness is like this big spectrum, this spherical spectrum. So, and entities are pretty much everywhere, especially if you're in our country, because, well, we're a lot of people and a lot of entities. So we've created these blind spots in our spectrum of awareness that never lets us fully be present, ever. Okay. And that in turn has shown up as many of the unwanted signs and symptoms of entity awareness. Okay. Sometimes it can be mood swings. Sometimes it can be an extreme mental disorder. Sometimes it can be things with your body. Sometimes it can be just uh, depression and anxiety. And if we don't include the awareness of entities in our entire spectrum of awareness, then we'll try to solve these things based on a lie that something is wrong and it's not just your awareness. Okay, I'm not saying every time you cough or every time there's something, it's because of an entity. I'm saying if you're here, you're aware of entities. And if you've been at the end of experiencing some of these unwanted signs and symptoms, and you're here, maybe it's time to include the entity awareness and not exclude it. Okay? Because the more we exclude this, the more energy we have to use against us. It's like our superpower. If we imagine if Superman did not did not acknowledge his powers, all right, and it's like, no, everything is wrong, no, I am wrong, I'm wrong. And then could he be Superman? Could he actually go out and be who he is? I know this is a very funny example, but just like that's the example that popped in my head for some reason. Okay. But basically, y'all are those people who have a different awareness. Okay. Except what's available in the world is it's wrong, be scared, or no, you're crazy, you're absolutely crazy. There's something wrong and you're crazy. There's something wrong with your brain, something wrong with your chemicals, and you're crazy, which is why you're here. Okay. So we want to take you out of that wrongness of your awareness of the spirit world and include this awareness of your spirit world so that, oh, so that you can step into who you are without creating these blind spots. Imagine if everything was aware. You can literally step out into the world knowing that, you know what, yes, I'm aware. I'm not going to ignore it. And you can be the gift that walks into a room and clears entities when they've been asking for. And you can be something that's receiving from this whole different world. And the good news is we live in a time where you will not be thrown in the jail or, burnt at stake for knowing what you know. Okay, you live in a world where you can actually even start making money from this, to be very honest. So everything that does not allow you to include your awareness of the spirit world, will you all please uncreate and destroy it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, popcorn, online shots, boys and beyond. So what I did there was I asked you a question, everything that doesn't allow you to include the spirit world. So when I ask you a question, you become aware of, oh, okay, certain things. Oh, I'm not aware, I'm not allowing this, I'm not allowing that. And then we want to clear it. So that gobbledygook sentence that I said at the end, which is right, wrong, good, bad, popcorn, online shots, boys and beyonds, that is the access clearing statement. Its job is to literally clear things. Okay. So if you want to know more about it, there is a website called www.theclearingstatement.com and you'll find more information there. Okay. So you're just aware, you're not crazy, but have you been given the tools to use your awareness to your advantage? Or have you been told that you're wrong, that you're aware that something is essentially wrong with you? That is what we want to change with TTTE. All right. So that was a little bit of my monologue right in the beginning. Does anyone have any questions about talk to the entities, about the spirit world, about anything? How can it help? Whatever it is.
So I have a question like,
Yes.
you said about like, if you see some behavioral things or like that. So I'm talking about like, I see my patients and, I'm talking about the patients and who has behavioral problems or, psychological things, disorders like that. So do you think like all patients are having entities, things like they're
You have to follow your awareness. You have to include. I wouldn't say that everyone is that because it is essentially an entity problem. Like if somebody has depression, it's because of entities. It's not. But
identified?
Yeah.
whether that person.
How do you identify? Is by asking a question. Is this, you can literally, is this because of entity awareness? And when you
Okay.
ask a question, is this because of entity awareness? If it lightens up at all, okay, and that lightness will be in the first few seconds, not the thinking, not when, oh, maybe, after you've computed and blah, 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 because you can't compute this. You don't have enough education to even compute this. Okay. So in those first 5 seconds, is this because of an entity? Is this because of entity awareness? Okay. And if you get a lightness, then follow it. Ask them questions. Okay. That's where doing the TTT class and becoming a facilitator and everything will come in handy, because then you'll be able to sort of direct them. But for now, as someone who gets these clients, all you have to do is ask, is any of this because of entity awareness? Because, oh my God, there are so many TTT facilitators right now, presently, talk to the entities facilitators, who are diagnosed with schizophrenia, who are diagnosed with being bipolar, and they've changed it, and not just changed it, they're now traveling the world and teaching this and facilitating this, and they're having very functional lives without medication. Okay, so this is not just something we're saying, we've literally seen this happen. Like in my own, I would literally start feeling low once this, like, around evening and sundown. And then when I opened up to this, like, wait, am I just aware of entities? And just that question lightened it up. And then working with them, clearing more entities. It then started, imagine you are aware of all of this. Okay. They know you're aware. It's not like they're trying to harm you. Okay. But they know you're aware. And very few people are open to this.
Like, why they don't do this with everybody? Like, why everybody is not surrounded by entities and not getting affected with that?
It's because everyone has different abilities and different capacities. Some of us have a greater capacity with entities, and some of us have a greater capacity with animals, and some of us have a greater capacity with bodies. Okay, like for example, the founder of Talk to the Entities is Shannon. Okay, she's a body, like Shannon O'Hara. She's the daughter of founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas. And since she was a kid, she could see when Gary couldn't, who's the founder of Access, who perceives them, but isn't affected that much. But Shannon had a massive ability and has a massive capacity here. And therefore, if she hadn't stepped into and used these tools, by her own admission, she would have been in a mental asylum. Because she used it, she found it, the entire curriculum is based, and she stepped into what comes to her with ease. Literally, look like they were all around her because she had a capacity. It's like, why is this person good at basketball and this one better at studies? You know what I mean? It's just that. It's not a wrongness, it's a capacity. Everybody has different capacities. Okay. And entity awareness, all of us have it, and all of us have it to different degrees. And some of us don't even realize, because it's not so dramatic in our world, where you see them and etc., etc. You think you're not aware, but these subtle signs and subtle things that you're doing, that you're always aware. Okay. So that's where the tools are. It's not just for people with so-called mental disorders. It's literally, we're all aware. Like if you walk into a room, just how many times have you walked into a place and you knew, oh wait, something there? And how much have we shut it off? And what if you didn't shut it off? And what if you were just present without a point of view? How much more would be available, instead of creating these blind spots in your awareness? That creating those blind spots in your awareness, they're like barriers. So if you're asking for more money, more ease, more joy, more everything in life, if you have blind spots in your spectrum of awareness where you're saying no, it's going to become very difficult for you to receive more. So all TTT's done is, first of all, it's made my space brighter. Okay. Because yes, I was always aware of entities. As a kid, oh my God, I would not, till my early 20s, I slept in my parents' room. Weird, but I did. I would go every day. I was like, oh, I'm going to sleep alone. At 2 o'clock, I would run down, and everybody made fun of me. But I knew I was aware. Just nobody knew how to give me information because no one's taught. It's not their fault. And what happened is, over time, I learned to be so scared of this and push all of this awareness, do very hard to push all of this awareness from my world, that it started affecting not just my body by mood swings, but also my finances, everything, because it's your capacity that you pushed out of you. Okay. And as I started doing TTT and I started taking my first class, and I started clearing. Okay, so let me talk about clearing. There are 4 things that we do in the TTT curriculum. Okay, one is clearing, second is communication, then is receiving, and finally we do cooperation. Okay, communication, receiving, and cooperation come in the beginning and then the advanced classes more deeply. Where we begin TTTE is by clearing, because 85% of the entities that you're aware of just require to be cleared. Okay, because you have to know they're entities because they got stuck, they died, that body passed on, but they did not. It could be multiple reasons, because they get stuck in that identity. They've given themselves a job, or they want to take care of their family even after they're died. Sometimes they don't even realize that they're dead, especially if they die under very unconscious states, like when they're drugged or under alcohol, or in a hospital, sometimes when they're comatose and they don't know what happened. So there can be a lot of confusion. So 85% of the things that you're aware of just need to be cleared. So imagine all of these things are everywhere around you, and you're looking like, and you're like walking around every day without clearing this stuff, without this stuck energy, which is pretty much this stuff. So I just started clearing and unsticking myself with this stuckness. My space became brighter. It's physically brighter. I'm not kidding. Everything used to be foggy. Now it's brighter. If you've ever walked into a room and all you saw was fog, and you're wondering what is going on, it's mostly entity awareness. So imagine my world physically has become brighter. There's more space, there's more receiving, there's more subtlety aware. Like, this is more subtleness. I can now turn to the lighter energies. I can turn to my teammates with more ease. I can turn to working with the spirits of the earth with more ease. Okay. So a lot of these things that you're aware of are just stuck energies. Yeah. So clearing is the first thing we do. We clear, 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 and clear. And clearing in TTTE is very easy. Okay, so let's do it right now. Let's relax. Okay, I'll show you how to clear. Even if it's a free intro, you always get something. So relax. Okay, just really relax and expand your awareness. Okay, what do I mean by expanding your awareness? Imagine you're a balloon. Okay, and just expand your awareness to the expanse of your room, 360 degrees. Thank you. Now expand it even more. ,500 kilometers. Expanded space even more. Just keep expanding till you're as big as the earth. So relax, 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 and expand your awareness till you're as much inside the earth as outside. Oh, see how much your body relaxes? And keep expanding that till you are fully relaxed. As you expand your awareness this way, you're no longer resisting your awareness. So if you're not relaxed, you're basically resisting your awareness, whether it's of entities or other things. Now, let's do the clearing. All of the entities that you've been aware of. And for some of y'all, this will make sense. For some of y'all will not know what is going on. If anything happened, if anything didn't happen, don't worry, it still works. Okay. Now, all of the entities that you've been aware of that want to be cleared, they were basically stuck for whatever reason. Truth, who are y'all? Truth, who were y'all before that? 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 Truth, what would you all like to be in the future? Now we do truth, what are y'all? Truth, what we all before that, what we all before that, what we all before that, truth, what we like to be in the future. And some of them have jobs. So you ask truth, what are your jobs? What was your job before that? What was your job before that? What was your job before that? And what would you like as your job in the future? Thank you. You guys may leave now. And now uncreate and destroy all the magnetic imprinting and implanting that they left behind. Right, wrong, good, bad, backward, online, shots, boys, and beyonds. Now, let me explain what we did, okay? Because some of you all have not done this at all. And if you have not done access at all, you'll be wondering what we're doing, okay? So what we did is with truth, who are y'all? So remember, the entities that we are clearing, which is the major chunk, which is 85% of them, okay, are basically stuck in an identity. So for example, if they died during World War II, okay, in Germany or something, then they think they still that identity, they still that German soldier or something, and they still stuck there. They think it's still World War II, but we moved on. We're into 2022, so they don't realize that it's no longer that they don't have to be that identity anymore. Okay, it was just an identity in that lifetime, but they get stuck there. So now what we're doing is we're basically asking them, truth, who are y'all? Oh, with this. Okay, cool. So who were you before that? And then they go, oh, wait, I was something else before that? Yeah, what were you before that? Oh, I was something else before that. I was something else before that. I was something else before that. Oh, okay, cool. Now that they're moving, you're literally shaking them from their identity, letting them know that they've been different things in different lifetimes. Okay, and then you're moving them till something lightens up, till they actually get a sense, wait, I was something else. I don't have to be stuck like this. And then you say, truth, what would you like to be in the future? So now you're giving them a choice. Hey, you can choose whatever you'd like. You don't have to be stuck here. So we're not forcing them. We're not telling them what they should be, what they shouldn't be. Clearing and access is by giving entities total choice. So now it's like they can move through to life, they can get another body, they can come back in another lifetime, they can go somewhere else. We don't know what's going to happen. It is their choice. But this way, and I know it sounds funny, it sounds too good to be real. Itna sa bol ke everything will happen. Yes, it does. Just use it. You'll feel lighter and lighter every day, especially if you've been aware. Okay. If you've been massively aware, you want to clear every day. Even if you don't get a sense if something is shifting or not energetically, because guess what? We've been doing this for a very long time. So now I know when things are shifting and not. This took some time. So now we're just moving them through it all. And we're telling them, hey, there's a whole different future you can now ask for. You don't have to be stuck. So the same thing we do for what and the job. Sometimes they're stuck in the job. Okay. And the reason they are. Okay, cool. So any questions about the clearing? So if you've been aware, if you know you're aware, okay, if you know you can't sleep in the night properly, if you know that you've been waking up with mood swings or there's something off and you're here, if you're here, you know somewhere you're aware of entities. Okay, just clear every morning when you wake up and before you sleep and see what changes. And there's so much more in Talk to the Entities. There's so much more. We cover, we clear, we get rid of points of views, we get rid of fears, we get rid of things around black magic and stuff. And there's so much ease that you can start having if you were no longer in fear, but you were educated about your spirit awareness. Yeah. So any questions? I think somebody raised their hands, but she's not here anymore. Jan, I know Jan, so I think she left. But Jan had raised her hand. Anyway, any other questions? About Talk to the Entities. What can I give you all as information? What would you all like to know? Nothing.
Yeah, I have a question, Dr. Viru from Bangalore. I just want to know what kind of sample examples or the experiences show us there could be some energy which need to be clearing? Or somebody's really completely go through the mood swings, even after so much medication, things doesn't move. Okay, and somewhere I get a sense it is not just psychological disorder. There should be some energy behind it. I sense sometimes.
Yes. So what is your sense of it? Let me ask you that.
Yeah, my sense of it is actually there is something beyond just psychological disorder. There should be something more.
There is an aware. Yes. So there is. It is literally just awareness of entities. A lot of them.
Okay.
It's not all. I'm not saying all, but include the awareness of entities. If you do that, then most people who've been diagnosed with schizophrenia are actually highly entity aware.
Okay.
Extremely. And I know people personally who were like that, who were diagnosed, who've gone over it, and now they're facilitators.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And just practicing the clearing statements make them
yeah,
to be better,
practicing.
normal after some time.
Yeah. So it's not even normal. It's they become it's it's not like the entity awareness goes away, but now they don't have to push it away. They can use it to their advantage to create a greater world. They're not at the
Okay.
effect of it. They can use it. The
Okay.
problem is we've been trying to again solve all of these things as if something is wrong. Okay, so we're trying to shut off our capacity, trying to shut it off, trying to shut it off. That's very forceful.
Mm-hmm.
But what has happened is with people who they've started using the tools, they've done multiple classes, they've been using the tools, they've been clearing things, and now they're including their awareness instead of making it wrong.
Should they themselves be doing it, or some facilitator, whoever aware about how to use the
They
clearing
can
statements?
start off with attending a class or having a facilitator who facilitates them through their awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they step into it, they can step into it. And most of TTT is about empowering you. All of it is about empowering you. So you start off taking a class, but the class is not where I clear your entities. I will
Yeah.
give you a space. Look, this is what you can do. I will only ask you questions. We will only empower you so that you step into what your ability is. And eventually, if you choose to, you can start becoming a facilitator. But that's what you'll become. You'll become a facilitator. Even if you're not becoming a certified facilitator, you'll become a facilitator of entities in your space rather than being an effect of it. And then you'll have so much more ease and peace with it because you're no longer resisting it. It's the resistance that causes that overwhelm. Okay.
Yeah.
If you step into it, that overwhelm goes away, then you're no longer so much at the effect of it. You just know, yeah, I'm aware. That's it. It's like how
Yeah.
you breathe in.
But if thanks, doctor. But if the person is a third person who is a silent sufferer, but we feel strongly there is some energetic thing happening there for
I get
whatever the reason, right?
I understand.
Can the third person we clear it? Can we clear it by
The
using?
thing is, we can clear it. I just don't. The problem is, there must be like there's a dynamic. There has to be a massive dynamic between the entities and the person. Like a relationship where both
Yes.
there's a point of view that that person also has, and there may be something else. May also be in relationships. You never know what's actually going on. So there is a strong unconscious point of view that creates this energy around this for them. So if they're not included, you can clear them, but they'll create the same thing again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you're correct and asking, it's a great question. It'll be great if they're included and they're making that choice and they are themselves becoming more and more aware. I can clear for another person, but I don't know how effective it's going to be. It'll be effective for maybe an hour, maybe a few days, maybe a few minutes or few seconds, and then they'll get it back again because they have a point of view. They are the ones choosing it. They need to make a different choice. We have to get clear on why it's happening. What is the point of view? But it's a
Okay.
good question. Thank you for the question. Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe I need to do some more detailing on this. Thank you.
It's simple. It's you start with yourself, and if they're a client, you can do it because they're included. Doing it for a third person, I'm not sure how much will work. Doing it for a property or land, absolutely it will work. Okay. because with a person, their choice, their free will is included. With land and stuff, you just have to be present with it. And they don't have a point of view of holding on to it. A lot of people have the point of view of holding on to the entities. Like they don't want to let their grandmom go away or their mother go away. So they will hold on to it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
can't really separate two people if they don't want to be. It's complete.
Okay, that means they can go through the session without being, or should they go through the complete session of this entity clearance?
I would suggest if they're more, that's what I'm saying. If they're more present, they're the ones choosing the session and I'm facilitating it for them. It is so much more effective rather than you coming here and then we doing this for someone who has no clue what's going on. Because we can't make them choose some, they have to become clear on what's going on if they'd like to be clear. It's total choice. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah. Got it. They need to be included into the whole process.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. What else, guys? Any other questions?
Yes, madam. I'm Rajendra here.
Hi, Raju.
My question is that if a person is not able to sense this type of energies at all,
Okay.
so then one thing is that how does he starts? Is it necessary to do or not necessary to sense these energies?
I'm not sure. Are you asking me if you don't sense them? Do you think you don't sense them?
Yeah. You can consider that. If I don't sense any such entities.
Yes. So everybody's perceptions are different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it may not be very dramatic in your world. You know, it may not be this. It may not be this. It may not be very apparent. It may be very subtle signs. Okay. So you have to become aware, and they're different for different people and different at different times. And yours may not be very apparent. They actually may be very subtle for you right now, or it may just be this fleeting awareness. Okay.
But is it,
as you clear more and your space becomes more clear and clear, you'll become more and more aware of what your signs are.
so how do you increase that sensitivity then?
By attending a class. Sorry. But the thing is, I mean, not sorry, but first start clearing. That's what I'm trying to say. Start clearing. So once that junk goes away, major junk, okay, then you'll start becoming aware of your awareness, the subtler awareness, little by little, and more. Okay. And I'm not just saying attend the class because I'm a facilitator, but it literally will give you so much because we do so much clearing. So many tools are given, so many things are done. It's like 2 days of deep diving into this world. 2.5 days. Okay. That's the beginning. And then you can do more of the advanced courses and other things. There's so many things you can go in for. Start with clearing. Okay. And start with acknowledging the subtle signs. You know, like if you walk into a room and you think something's there, don't doubt it. You don't have to do a lot of drama about it. Oh my God, there's something there. You don't have to do anything about it. You just have to go, cool. There's something there. And that's it. Start with that energy. Start with acknowledging those little things. And if you start clearing, you'll become more and more aware.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you, though. Good
question. Khushboo?
Yes, Vidya. I'm sorry, I just realized that I'm talking very fast. Is it happening?
Yeah, I'm asking for some participants. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Ask.
She's saying that she knows that one person is carrying entities, but he is not choosing to clear the entities.
Yes.
So how can we make that happen for that person?
Okay. Cool. So it's the similar question as Viru asked. Okay. First of all, you can do your best to clear them, but it may not work. So it is for you. So what will it take for you to start having more ease with people carrying entities and not having a point of view about it? So even if you're surrounded by 20 people carrying like 30,000 entities, how much more relaxed, how much more present, how much more of a leader can you be, that even if they're not willing to let go of it, you're not at the effect of it, because you can't make someone choose, even if it is someone you deeply care for. That's the thing, guys. We need to get over this thing where, and I know it, I know it's from deep care, but the thing is, trying to change something for someone who doesn't want to change it will get you stuck in it more. And as you start using the tools and you become clear and you start, really being this empowered person around entities, just by your example and how you be and the energy you be, then there are higher chances of, I'm just going to mute you with that. Yes. So then there are higher chances of them getting inspired by you and then coming to you, you know what, I need your help. Can you help me, please? The problem is, if they don't want it and you try to push it on them, it's going to push them away even more. Yeah. So these tools are for you. So you start becoming aware of what's going on. As you start becoming aware, as you become more confident, as you become more of the more dominant energy in your space, then it becomes easy for you to be the inspiration that will allow people. You can do classes like these or free intros like these, and they'll come just by the energy you're willing to be. Okay. So that's one thing. As much as possible, if it's another person that you're aware of, you can give them the information, but they have to choose it. And what will it take for you to have ease with whatever choices the world makes, or your family makes, or your children make? Let them choose. You choose ease, and they'll be inspired. Hopefully. Cool. Any other questions? Because we're at 40 minutes and it's just a free intro. If there's anything else that I can give you all information on, like I said, Dr. The Entities is an access consciousness specialty. For more information, there's drtheentities.com. There's my website. You can reach out to me for more information, for personal sessions, for upcoming classes, for anything. But just know that if you've been aware, if anybody is aware, even if they're aware and you know that they're aware, they're not wrong. Okay. Don't approach them with this thing that they are wrong, there's something wrong, that they have entities, because that is going to push them away. Invite them. Hey, I know what you're aware of. It's a gift. I know you're not wrong. That's when you'll invite them to change for the better. But if inherently you have a point of view that they're wrong for having this awareness, that they're wrong, that they have so many entities around you, it's not going to be empowering. You're going to push them away more. Okay. I have been there. And the only reason I started looking at these things is finally someone, my first facilitator, said, you're not wrong that you're aware. We all have entities around us. And I was like, oh, really? I thought I was alone in this. And I wasn't alone. And that's what made me choose something different. Okay. So if you deeply care for people who you know are aware, do not approach them from wrongness. Approach them from knowing, you know what, there is something different you're aware of. And you can redirect, even if you're not available, you're not equipped with the TTT tools, you can direct them to TTT facilitators or someone else. Okay. But please, guys, do not approach people with this as if something's wrong with them. It's actually a gift. Right? And when they know that they're not going to be judged by this, there will be greater chances of them choosing to be included in that space and changing it. But it's when they know they're not going to be judged. For their whole lifetimes, they've been judged that something's wrong. We need to change that deeply. Right? Cool. All right. How can we avoid multitasking? Okay, Ankit, that's a question for another class altogether. Okay. So you can ask me for something else, but this is not a talk to the entities question. Like, how can we avoid multitasking? Be like a monk. Maybe that's another question and another class, but altogether, it's definitely not a talk to the entities class. We're at the end of our session. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being curious. I hope you guys received something. Please clear if you're aware of entities, or if you know someone who's aware of entities and carries them, just don't approach them with something's wrong. Approach them with, you know what, I know you're aware, and I know and what can I be here? Please don't try to force change on people. Be the kindness that you always knew people should be to you. Just be that. Just be that. And they'll open up more, they'll choose more. But us forcing this stuff on anyone and trying to clear their stuff and blah, blah, blah is going to push them away. So what else is possible? If we all were empowered, and we always empowered people with spirit world, not scare them and not make them wrong. Thank you. I will see y'all hopefully somewhere, sometime. I'm not sure. And thank you, Elisa. And you'll also receive an email with the recordings, and feel free to reach out to us for any other entity or other related questions. What else is possible? Thank you,
Thank you.
Komal. Thank you, Deepanti. Thank you, Vidya, for translating to Marathi. Yay! There are people there. And I'm sorry. I forgot that you're translating, so I went like super fast, but awesome. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.